My name is Ollie Mae Haney Swaggerty. I was born and raised in Newport, about 7 or 10-minute walk from this building to my home place. When I married, after I married into the Swaggerty family, my mother-in-law, Louise Davison, she was the president, I think, then. And so everything was just busy going. It was very nice and just something to do, and dressing to go here and there. And like you said, the goat wobble and all. Everything was just so exciting to me because I didn't do that stuff in my young days, but after I married, I did. They would prepare like fish, mud turtle, goat, and chicken and dumplings, granny wood, ball custard, pound cakes. Man, they just had everything. Whatever, I mean, it was like it was a big, huge restaurant that you was going in to eat it. And it was just, everybody just threw their heart into everything they done. A lot of love in it. They would have, well, start off, let's see, finally when it, when we was past just going to the swimming pool once a week, one time. Well, it got to be we would have activities at the ballpark and all different sports events they would get into. And it was just it got to be very lively. I mean, it's like, man, you planned for this like you're going on a vacation to the Bahamas or Florida. Man, it's exciting. Seeing all the people that was born and raised here that came back to see their family and spending weeks, spending time with them and meeting all your old friends, and because a lot of people had moved off, but they would come back. It was electrifying. It was just almost as good as going to church. It was, because you'd see a lot of people you hadn't seen in a long time. And then you'd dress to your finest and you'd eat the finest old home-cooked food, and it was just all right. Yeah. We had several plants here, and a lot of people worked in the factories, which I did in 3 or 4 plants, and I made a pretty good living in it. But then people had families that were already gone away to like Michigan or just different parts of the world, and we would go eventually when we could and go visit them and things like that. But this was the beginning. This is where they were born and raised here in Newport, Cocke County. And there were so many loved ones here, memories and mountains and just everything. They had a little bit of everything they could do around here. But the jobs wasn't the greatest for maybe to their limit that they wanted to reach. Like, the sky's the limit, so you want to reach for the sky, and, and you can help your family that's back here too. So that was the beginning of their life, where they were born and raised here, and like they met someone out of town or from a big city, and they, had family there, the husband or whoever, and they would meet a little country girl they fell in love with, so, they'd take them back, venture to the city, and they would branch out, and then as they would branch out with their family, they would spread the love and whatever else with their family back here, because it was just like, people were like this, not cliques, but love. I mean, you could feel it. It's just like somebody sticking your finger in a fuse. That was that kind of love, true love. And you don't even have to pay for it. God give it to all of us. Well, I remember, hearing him talking because I was young. That's when the slaves were set free, and they celebrated that special day. And then it got to the place it was a whole week they would celebrate. And a lot of people would like to stay a month if they could. And it's just, everybody looked forward to coming home. And it was just, I was real young then, I was about 18. And Lord have mercy, man, I'd work all year to maybe have 5 or 6 new outfits, fine high heels, earrings, all that stuff, hair all done. Man, we went out on that. What you talking about? It was nice. And memories is something that nobody can take away. And once you get a touch of it and it gets embedded into you, you love it and you really want to try to always do and go back, because there's so much love, and you get to be with your family, that you can't get to see all year, and it's a big celebration. It's about like somebody's almost giving you $1 million. We don't have near as many older members left, but there's a lot of, we're all getting older. I'm 69, so I'm not a spring chick no more, you know. So, but we since because I was like I think I was 19 when I kind of really got involved in it, and so I'm older. So, but I still love it. And the younger girls are doing a fine job, but them old ladies like Miss Louise and Miss Bessie, Lord, Miss Essie and all of them, Lord, Miss Nitty Sue G. But the young ladies are doing a wonderful job, it's just, it's nice. And everybody still has fun. We have like stores that donate things for different events that we're doing and try to keep a lot of activities going for the children on special days and even like up to the picnic. And it's like, we do the big picnic under the pavilion, and then families can branch out if they want to do extra. But it's just like that. It's awesome. The support from the community of Newport and surrounding areas as well. It's good, but it needs to be better and stronger like it used to be. Because once what it started on that foundation, it's still the same meaning. The old dogs are gone, and so when the older people are left out, it's left up to the young ones to keep it strong. You don't want it to die. You don't want it, because as we grow up, it is just like growing up to be a movie star or something. You have to start from the ground and build your way up. But the Tennessee Picnic is awesome. I love it. I just, Lord, people just take vacations for it. Even the ones around here, even if they have to work maybe half a day or something like that, or say I'm taking a sick day or whatever, just different things. But you don't want to miss the Tennessee Picnic. It's just electric. I mean, it's awesome. Ooh, it's a lot of fun. We even had the Newport Supremes here in Cocke County one time. The goat wobble is well, they know where to find the goats. You have to go out in the country or, things like that. And we have special men that, because I don't think the ladies, I haven't done it yet. So if any woman was going to try to do it, I'd assume that I would be the first, but I haven't. So, so we'll just. But the men normally go get the goat, and I guess they normally get a nice-sized goat. And they have to kill it, prepare to kill it, and they have their special tree for it. And then everybody's standing back, but we don't know where it's close by, but you can hear it saying its last word and stuff, and then they clean it and everything like that, and then put it back in the freezer and let it, cure out or settle down. You know how meat has to be, and then wash it up. Well, they wash it 99 times, but still got its good flavor. And goat is awesome if you really know how to cook it. Country people know how to cook stuff like that because you can take if you could soften that piece of wood up, it would be a good flavor on it if you could soften it. And make a pretty good meal, and everybody'd say, oh, this is the greatest meal I've had all day. But yeah, they could. People back then and today too, they could take a little something and make it out to feed 20 or 30 or 40 people. The know-how that God gave us, the knowledge that God gave us, to spread that love around. So everybody get a taste of the goat and everything else. Well, I'd like for them to know to just come on in the room and visit with us a minute or two. And we are down to earth country people, but we can slick up and look as good as the president or anybody else. And we've got a heart of gold, and we are very caring. And there's lots and lots of things, but once that they come, they would fall in love with it. The town as well as the people. Everybody has their own style, and like the welcome party. The welcome party is the last event that they have of the week, but it's like the picnic day, and everybody would dress. They have shorts on or maybe pants, and everybody's in their own style, but they had a week's supply of new things, and you mean they was fixed up, makeup, nice hats, shoes. I mean, casual shoes if they had to if they had to go out and play ball or something, they had outfits for that. But that was the week. Man, you plan for that 3 or 4 months, or maybe work on it almost a year to make sure you have the perfect whatever you needed, from the head down to the toe, for every event. Now, that's the way I am. That's the way I've always been, and everybody else was the same way, too. I'm a very moody dresser, so a lot of times I'd have to have 2 or 3 outfits that I'd maybe decide I want to wear at one outfit. Well, I'd have 3 outfits I decide I want to wear to. I'm not sure which one that night, but it would be 3 outfits for one day. And then I'm a moody dresser, so I'm a moody person. Well, I'm not moody person, but I'm a moody dresser. That's one thing I am. So a lot of times, I mean, I make a lot of my clothes. I'm a bootlegger, seamstress. And so whatever style, whatever mood I'm in, that's what I do with my clothes. I can take and rip a dress apart and put it in a style within less than an hour. But I'm just crazy, I guess. I don't know. It's just, that's me. They just made a variety, like, would say, well, we might be looking for like 400 or 500 people. Well, the club would either they'd get their meats and go, Granny would go down to the store. Oh, Lord, do I remember Granny going down to the store and getting up all this, her and Miss Bessie and Betty Jean and all of them. And they knew how much meat to get. I mean, they would put in their orders early so that they would make sure that they was bringing in what they wanted. And they never, ever run short. And it was like, man, them ladies, they had it. I mean, they were good. They were better than somebody running a restaurant. Well, them restaurants couldn't touch them women. And today either. It was every kind of pie, green beans, baked beans, deviled eggs, soup beans, but whatever Indian, everybody wanted, it was there. You didn't have to look for nothing because it was there. It was like, oh, your eyes just got bigger as you went down the table, just bigger. Lord, the plate, I need a wheelbarrow to put all this food in. But you got all you wanted to eat. It was plenty. Well, Newport, we are just down to earth, calm down, pretty calm. We used to be calmer, but I think our closeness is a lot better here than it is in Knoxville or wherever. Well, I've never been to one of their picnics, but I've always, all my life, I look forward to it. Man, I look forward to it. That's my week. It's and everything. I mean, and you want to get dressed for the picnic, and if there's something in the evening, or somebody else is having a spread, Lord, sometimes there's 15 and 20 things going after the picnic at the park, and you want to do it all. Go home, run home, change into another outfit. Oh, here we go, and da. You're just having fun all day long with. It's awesome. It really, really is, and what a grand week. And I hate to see them go. Yes, we used to have dances. We used to have our dances down to the Moore Building, the American Legion Moore Building. And the Long John Silver, those stores and Walgreens, they wasn't there. And the road was a little different, so really our town changed after we had that. I think it was like some kind of storm that came through in there at the Pontiac place. They had to really change a lot of stuff because a lot of cars turned over, and we had more parking on the side. That building, I mean, it's kind of messed up a little bit with some of the storms we're having now, but that's a beautiful building. It's so big, it's so huge, and all the time I was ever in the Tennessee Picnic, we always used that Moore Building. Oh man, I tell you, Lord, you go down out there, down on a Friday night, that dance, Lord, walking up them big old steps, honey, walking in your finest, girl, just tipping and go, girl, hi! I mean, that was the day, man. But my mind goes back a lot to things like that, and lots of old memories back then. I didn't miss a dance. Never missed a dance in my whole life down there. Not one that we had.
So the dance was kind of the high water
Oh,
mark?
man, people come from everywhere. Johnson City, they come from everywhere. Knoxville, everywhere. That place was packed. We'd have a live band, and they would sing, and it was awesome. It was nice. Oh, it was so nice. Because, see, at the dance, that was the icing. All the icing was put on the cake for that dance night. I mean, it was we done something all week, and then that was that. Then the next day was the Church of Your Choice. Well, that would have been Friday night's the dance. Saturday, we did. I don't know what we did over there, but anyway, Sunday was the Church of Your Choice, and we'd all go to church on Sunday, and then mostly that was the farewell day that we wouldn't see nobody. But it was, oh Lord, it was a lot of. I mean, it's nice. I loved it. I just loved it, and I still love it. Well, with all the people. A lot of them was Macedonian, they were Baptist, Holiness, or well, not Methodist, whatever, like the the families that came in, everybody had their denomination of church that they attended mostly all their lives, so that was more or less their church, because unless we wasn't having something just for one church. And so everybody would visit to churches wherever they wanted to go, because some of their parents were still living, but that was their bringing. I was holiness. I came up in a holiness church, which it was over on the other street. Reverend C.C. Hatley was my pastor, Alan Noswell. And so everybody was like that. That was the way it was. And it was wonderful. It was nice. Churches would be packed.
So
they have their finest on that day too, man. Hats and all, gloves, all they was dead.
So would church
clean.
be more packed on that Sunday than normal?
Oh, yes, because these were people that lived here, were born and raised with their siblings that they had married and their families. So, oh yeah, it's going to make a bigger crowd. And you're just always so glad to see some of them that you hadn't seen in years. The fire was burning the fire burns high in all the churches. I mean, Lord. I mean, some of the churches, I can't belong to all the churches, but I'm just a fiery woman. I'm a screaming woman in church with a whooping holler. If I want to say thank you, Jesus, hallelujah, praise the Lord. I just can't help it, because I feel like if I do that, I'm sitting down on God, but it's just something within me. So people just more or less, they just enjoy themselves in church. You can't be ashamed of God, because if it wasn't for Him, we wouldn't even be here. Come to Newport, Tennessee, and County of Cock when we do our Tennessee picnic, and just come on in the room, because we have a good old time. Well, I think maybe one time a real funny thing happened. I don't know if it was the first year. I want to say it was the first year that Pauline Rice and Liz Dykes, Mr. Roland Dykes' wife, the mayor of Cock County, we and myself, we done the Newport Supreme act. We'd go down to Gary's house. The Tennessee picnic would have their thing. They'd have their meeting over at Granny's, and after the meeting, me and Miss Liz and Pauline, we would go over to Gary's and down in the basement. And I mean, we didn't know what we was going to do, or we was just having fun. But boy, I tell you what, at the end of that session that we had people at the nights that we had the Newport Supremes was in town. When we went out on stage and started singing and stuff, it was just crazy. People was losing their shoes, getting up running and losing their shoes and everything. I mean, we got a big kick out of it. So I think we've done that a couple of years. A lot of people have been wanting us to do it again, but I said, Miss Liz is not here. Me and Pauline's still here. But we had a good time. I remember Mr. Buster said, and he was the president of the picnic, and I guess Mr. Buster was the mayor then. He saw Miss Liz up there just sang. Well, we had the finest, like these women on TV, you know what I mean? I mean, we had long earrings, lipstick, makeup. Mr. Buster comes around, Liz, what are you doing up there? But we was just doing the Supreme. But we did. We was faithfully practicing every Sunday. We do it every Sunday. And I remember the first time we ever done that, Miss Liz asked me, she said, what are we going to do when we get out there on the stage? And I told her, I said, just follow me. So they followed me that night. Mr. Buster and all of those losing shoes that night, and when they was running up through there, because we went out, we was ready. We were the Supreme. We had, Pauline's been wanting to do it again, and I said, well, we'll have to get one of the girls to fall in for, if they would just follow in our footsteps. She said, but it was awesome. It was really nice. But Pauline Rice has been wanting to do it again. And I remember the last year that we did, Miss Liz was kind of maybe getting a little sick a little bit, and she said, let's go out on our walking canes. And we all three had a walking cane, and we went out on that. And so that retired the Newport Supremes.